Hey guys, Alex Man here, back in the garage again, and today we're continuing work on our little CRF50. So in the previous video we got this thing taken apart, got to look at all the things that it needed, and we got it running. So we're gonna see how this thing cleans up today. It's about 50 degrees, which for January is you know, pretty nice, and so not a bad day to do some pressure washing. I think we're gonna pull the motor out, and that way basically there's nothing really worry about, and get it clean. Well, maybe we'll pull the wheels off. I don't know. Haven't figured that out yet. Alright, one thing that I noticed was that we have a quarter 20 bolt here. It's not a metric bolt. It's replacing the M8 that's supposed to just go into this welded nut. That's no good. It's got to come out to get the muffler off. Well, muffler's got to come off to get the engine out. And it's not going back in, at least not this bolt. Come on. The heat shield is blocking access. Come on. There we go. Whew. All right. Came right apart. All right. Spark plug comes out. Fuel line. Oh crap, forgot the throttle cable. You always forget something, right? Okay. Whew. That's weird. Huh. That is very weird. That's not the way that's supposed to be. Someone put too long of bolts in there and broke the case out. Nut on the back, which is fine. I can helicoil that, thread and swing on there. Alright, well, everything cleaned up pretty nice. We got the motor here leaking oil onto my floor because the case bolts were too long, or the foot peg bolts were too long and busted through the case. So I'll have to fix that. Got some freshly cleaned parts over here. My monster foot pegs, loosey-goosey monsters, and a couple wheels. We got the exhaust here. Missed a couple spots, but I think some WD-40 will bring back this kind of satin finish here real nicely. And here's the frame. So I am going to pull the swing arm off. I'm going to pull the brake pedal off so I can grease that and so that the shaft doesn't get all rusty. And I'm going to pull the forks out of the frame so that I can get those bearings dry, and we'll probably just re-grease those and put those back in too. So let's get to it. First try. Nope. Oh, that one was loose. Oh wow, this is loose too. Alright, well, I guess I didn't need the socket. Well, the bearings actually look pretty dry, which is good. I mean, water-wise, grease-wise, they look good. Doesn't look like too much water got in there. We'll see about the bottom one. And there's the bottom one there. It looks pretty good too. A little bit of dirt and stuff, so we'll clean that all up and grease her up and put her back together. Okay, let's see if switching these bolts top to bottom makes it, fit better. Oh yeah, that is definitely the one for the top. And this one was supposed to be here on the bottom. Yep, wow. Like, it's perfect. The threads on this nut are kind of messed up. I might be able to fix the bolt with a die. I'm not sure about this nut since it's a lock nut, but we'll have a try. Swing arms out. Holes in the frame don't look walled out, which is good because the bolt was loose. And if that happens, these holes will wallow out, but this one looks fine. So, sweet. These are actually bushings, not bearings, so nothing to worry about with water there. Pull these stickers off, not really a fan of them. Personally, ow. Ow. Dang it. I pulled that off and punched myself in the face. I feel like an idiot. Dang. Alright. Let's not do that on this one. I ruined the factory sticker. And if you remember the exhaust bolt that had that 1/4-20 nut and bolt in it, so this is the nut there, and you can see part of the bolt is broken off inside the hole. Looks like someone tried to drill through it and got a little crooked and didn't get the whole bolt out. So I'm going to see if I can remove the rest of that bolt, and if I need to helicoil those threads in the nut, I can, and make that work again. And here's the swing arm, and this is the rear mounting hole for the chain guard. I guess something broke off in there and someone tried to drill through it or whatever, but got all off center. So that's bigger than the drill size for the helicoil. So for this one, I may have to weld it up solid and then drill through it and then helicoil it. So we'll see. Okay, time to see if I can get the remnants of this bolt out. These vice grips might be too large. Might be better off with a punch here to try to just knock the remnant loose. And I got like one bit of thread. This is how you break a bit. All right. Okay. There it is. Oh, look at that. Like factory, that is an approved repair. All right, good as new. All right, so we got that welded up. Almost solid, but not quite. Still enough there that we can figure out where we're supposed to be. We'll grind that flush, then we'll have a nice surface to drill into. If my drill bit can cut through the weld. Boom. That's a factory fresh repair right there. Well, we got the frame all cleaned up, and we got the forks, and I guess we got the swing arm we could put on. We could try to assemble those three things together. Not gonna be able to put the motor in. Still gonna take that apart here next couple days. But you know, for now we can at least get the frame together. Both the tires need new tubes. I thought only one needed a tube, so I ordered one tube. I think I have one in the attic that might still be good I could put in, so then I'll have two good ones. So we'll see. But yeah, let's start tossing this thing back together. Alright, let's fix up this bearing race here. Alright guys, it's been a couple days, but we're back and we have parts, so we can continue working. So as you can see here, well, we got a new clutch cover gasket because we got to, well, it's way over there, but we got to pull that right cover off so that we can try to extract probably some little pieces of aluminum where those bolts, oh, look how big and blurry my finger is, where those foot peg bolts went through the bottom. Probably broke the case, so we got to extract those. Got a couple used fork guards because those were missing. Got a new front brake cable because this one was bent so bad, and I tried to straighten it out, but it still would not kind of move very easily. It's pretty messed up. So didn't want to use that. And then we got a whole bunch of OEM Honda parts, mostly hardware kind of stuff, nuts, bolts, clips. Got an O-ring there for the dipstick. So nothing super exciting there. New foot peg, new air filter. Needed that one. The old one, if you remember, was like dust. Yeah, this is in need of replacement. So we'll get a new one of those, and that's about it. So yeah, we can move on. All right, time to put this in there. Here comes the fun part. Okay, well, it actually has a rim strip, which is more than I can say for most dirt bikes that I've gotten used. It's usually duct tape, which has disintegrated and made a completely greasy, crazy, stupid mess. But this is not that, so it's kind of nice. Just so you know, you tighten the cap up all the way. Then, you see this? You tighten the nut against the cap. You don't want the nut tight against the wheel. You want it a little bit loose like that. And the reason is, if the rim slips a little, not gonna happen with this power, but if the tire slips a little bit on the rim, you don't want that valve stem to be tight in there. It'll rip it right off of the tube. You want it loose like that. You want the nut backed up against the cap. Whoop. All right, here's a tube we just took out. Sounds you can see. Well, I think I can patch that. Alright, I'm going to pull this clutch cover off. I want to see how bad it is in there with the case where the bolts poke through the bottom. Okay. Ah, and clear as day. There's exactly what I was expecting. Yep. So you can see where the foot peg boss is, and the top of it is just popped right off because someone threw too long of a bolt in there. Hopefully I can find the little piece, pop it out, and I'm thinking I'm just gonna have to clean that as super clean as I can and cover it with some silicone, some RTV. It's about the only way we're gonna be able to get that to not leak. Short of weld repair, you know, or replacing the cases. Alright, so we'll see if it's behind this. Oh, there's the ball bearings for the clutch. I guess we can pop this off so we don't drop it like that. Oh, I can feel it. Oh, look at that. Check it out. That's one of them. Nice. Alright, let me wipe this off and show you. This is exactly the piece that used to be in there. I'm not sure if there's two foot peg bosses that are busted or not. Let me see. Alright, so I've examined as much as I can through the cases here. Don't see any more holes, and if I spray some sort of cleaner in here, I don't see it coming through into the cases. You know, even if there was a crack or something, you'd be able to see that. So I think we got away with just one broken case bolt there. Alright, so we're going to helicoil these threads in here. In order to do that, since the back side of this hole is open into the engine, don't want to be putting a bunch of drilling chips in there. So I'm going to stage this shop vac, and hopefully that'll suck up any chips that we create. Alright, let's do it. I guess that worked. Cool. I don't think I recorded any of that, but just ran this through that hole, so that's cool. I'd tap that. We'll let that set up overnight and clean up this gasket surface, all this nastiness, and put it back together tomorrow. See if it seals. Alright, well, good morning everybody. We let that silicone set up overnight. So now we just need to clean off this whole nasty gasket surface, and of course the same one on the clutch cover, so we can pop our new gasket on there. So we'll put the throw-out bearing back in here. This thing goes on next. Just slides right in there. And what this actually is, you see this is the this thing goes onto the end of the shift shaft. So the shift shaft that you're actually using with your left foot goes all the way through here. Part of the mechanism goes underneath this big gear, changes the gears. What this actually does is as you move up and down, see it's going to swing one way or the other, and it engages with this guy to basically turn, whoop, let me actually put this somewhere you can see it. It turns this plate a little bit each direction. You see that? It just does that back and forth. And see, this is like a little ramp. So on the inside of the clutch cover is a similar ramp. And what's in between the two of them is these 3 balls on a plate. And as you can see, when you rotate it, the balls go up. So when we install this here, what's actually happening when you shift the gears is that as you shift gears, it pushes this plate one way or the other, and it pushes down on the clutch this direction, which it's pretty stiff, the springs in there, and that disengages the clutch. So that's the semi-automatic part of it. As you shift gears, it automatically engages and disengages and re-engages the clutch. So that's how that works. This here is splined. It can go on in any number of ways, except only one of them is correct. And the correct way is that it's pointing directly at the center of the clutch. If it's off by a spline, it won't work. As you can see, it's all weird and doesn't fit. So pointing directly at the center. So these little Honda 50s and 70s don't actually have an oil filter like what you'd see in the conventional sense. They do have this little oil pickup screen. So that goes right in here. Right in here is where the oil pump actually draws from. Here's the oil pump. It's driven off a shaft, which is driven off a sprocket, which is driven off the cam chain. So it picks up oil through here, sucks it through this screen, and then it pumps it out this hole into, well, part of it goes up into the head, part of it goes through the clutch cover, directly here into the center of the clutch. These also have what is called a centrifugal oil filter. So inside the clutch is sort of a centrifuge, and it just flings the particle, well, the oil and the particles and whatever else is in there to the outside. All the nasty stuff that's in there gets stuck to the outside walls as the clutch is spinning. You know, it's all spinning in there. And then the oil flows the rest of the way through into the crankshaft and the main bearings. So, not a bad idea to occasionally clean that out. All right, I'm gonna lay on our right crankcase cover gasket here. Seems to fit nicely. Put my dowel pins in. Well, there's supposed to be one more pin somewhere, dowel pin, and I don't know where it is. All right, so I looked all around. It wasn't stuck in here, and it wasn't stuck in the case. I only had one dowel pin, but I went up into the attic, and look what I found. A whole Ziploc bag I had full of these things, so we'll just pop that guy right in there. Pop this guy on. Careful not to damage the seal. There it is. All right, check it out. So, motor's back together. Right now I am going to do a quick valve adjustment. Just, you could do it in the bike, but it's a little bit easier on the bench. Just less stuff in the way, so go ahead and do that real quick. Ah, boy. Yeah, we're gonna use a 6-point socket for this guy. Let's see if we can get this off. Oops. Oh boy. Whew. Rotate the motor over. Intake. Compression. You can feel it and hear it. Line up the T mark on the flywheel. And we do have a tiny bit of play, which is good. And I got my 2/1000 feeler gauge. Oh, and it fits in there. Just with the slightest amount of drag. Perfect. Not even gonna touch it. 3/1000 feeler gauge for the exhaust. And it's a little bit tight. That does need to be adjusted. Oh. Broke my feeler gauge. Unbelievable. All right, well, just to finish off this job, I guess we'll use it like this. Yeah, it feels pretty good. All right, well, it's the end of this guy. All right, let's see what's going on behind this flywheel. Wow, that's pretty nasty in there. Look at all of that. It's just packed with freaking mud or sand or something. Look at that. Wow. Look at this. Every one of these divots is just packed with mud. Alright, well, we got the flywheel cleaned up 100% as clean as we're going to clean it. And now when we rotate it, it doesn't rub on anything, so that's pretty cool. Alright guys, well that just about wraps it up for this video. Made some good progress on the little CRF, got it torn down, cleaned up, got the motor fixed up, fixed that hole in the case, got it put back together, and started putting the bike back together, got the motor in there. So in the next video we'll be putting the rest of the bike back together and hopefully taking it for a little rip around the neighborhood. Thanks for watching, see you next time. What the heck? Focus. Focus. Focus! Focus! It's focused on the wrong finger, not this one.